Hi guys, I'm just going to show you a quick way of removing timber with a chisel. So maybe different situations where you have to trench out a line of timber to halve over another section or whatever, or simply just halve over a bit of timber that's got a fit and there's a pipe running through on the wall or whatever. Okay, so there's different situations you'd need to do this. So have a look and then see how you get on for yourselves. Right, okay, so what we've got here is a section of timber, and we've got to remove roughly halfway. Okay, so what you can see already is that we've got our free cuts in the timber. That's to help break the line of timber, so when we chisel in, it actually has something to break against, as opposed to the whole length of the grain splitting. Okay, so we don't want to do this in sort of one hit. We'll do it in a couple of stages. I've got a couple of different examples here. I've got one with the free cuts, and I've got one with various cuts, and you'll see a slightly difference depending on which method you use. Okay, so we'll start with this one. So I'm going to put it in my vise. And I've got a 25mm bevel edge chisel. Okay, so you want to use it so the flat side of the chisel is facing downwards, and obviously we've got a mallet there to knock in. Okay, so when we do it, we just want to make sure that I aim slightly upwards, so to not take too much timber at once. Okay, now if you'll notice that some of the grain, it's quite a wide section there, so some of it's breaking where it wants to break because of the timber. So what I personally like to do, and the reason why I've got this other piece of timber here, is to put a few different saw cuts in it. Okay, so these saw cuts are spaced every 5-6 mil, whatever. Okay, you'll see hopefully a slight difference in the timber breaking out. Notice that I'm not chiselling off this edge, and that's to give it a bit of a further protection to it splitting on the back edge. So you don't want to do that because it will ruin the look of the timber. You'll split all the grain out. It's just not a pretty sight. So I always work in one side and then work the other side from the other angle. Okay, sometimes it may break, just like that. However, it's not going to matter because of the fact that you've put plenty of saw cuts in it, and it's controlled of where the saw cut stops. Same as on the other side. So the trick is not to be too greedy. Don't try and take too much off at once. Bottom now, so I'm going to be very careful with my angle. In fact, I may want to call it a day with the mallet now and start the next process. Okay, so this process now, I'm not using the mallet at all, and I'm using the flat side of the chisel down. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of pressure with my fingers from above and just give it a bit of a tickle from behind, so I can sort of scoot in and try and shave the timber down. This process is called paring in. Okay, so we're going to pare in the timber. Again, I don't want to work off the back edge, I want to go from one side. So you can use your saw cuts as a guide, because when your saw cuts start to disappear or look like they're about to disappear, that means you're nearly at the bottom of where you want to be. But it's important to keep watching the front of the timber as well, so you can see your line. So I've got a little bit in the corners that just a little bit tricky to break away, so you can pick the saw back up timber's got to have something to break against, otherwise it won't peel off very nicely. Obviously what's key to this is a lovely sharp chisel, so spend a bit of time on your tools. And then work in from the other side. Okay, so then our next object, whatever it is, should fit nice and snug in that area, or nice and flat I should say. So this could be for whatever you're doing, any kind of notch over a pipe or anything like that, or in joinery terms it could be for a joining of two sections. So it's important you get it nice and tidy. At this point what I do is lift it up to eye level and just have a little look. Okay, so you maybe potential to take a little bit more off there, so then you can pop it back in your vise and just give that a bit of extra attention. There's millimetre stuff if anything, but keeping the chisel angle nice and low gives you that option just to shave along the top. Thanks for watching.